Hello everyone, I'm Shourya, a first year at the National Academy of Legal Studies and Research, or better known as NALSAR University of Law, Hyderabad. And finally, just a few dreadful days are left for your CLAT exam. And I'm sure a lot of you are really worried right now about the exam itself, the day of the exam, what you're supposed to do on that day, how it's supposed to play out, all those things. So I'm making this video, which is sort of like a D-Day guide, if you will, a survival guide, where I'll tell you exactly step by step what to do from right from the moment that you wake up on the exam day till the moment that you're writing the exam. Just follow this to the T, and I promise you, 99% of the things that you're worried about won't happen. So let's get started. Firstly, before the day even begins, I want you to go to bed early the night before the exam. And that's important because, I'm sure you know already, you need some, decent amount of sleep, not just in terms of quantity, but also in terms of quality, uh, in order to have your brain functioning at its most optimum level. And as I've said so many times, you need your brain at its most optimum the day of the exam because the exam is so intensely application focused. So you need your brain working and working very, very well. And you can only get that if you have some decent amount of sleep. And that sleep is of a certain amount of quality as well. So I need to go to bed by at least, if possible, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. But if not, then maybe 11 p.m. as well. But no, like no later than that, because I need to wake up early the next day, like the day of the exam as well. So in order to wake up early and yet still have some decent amount of sleep, you need to go to bed early as well the night before. So I need you to sleep by 9 p.m., 10 p.m., maybe 11 p.m., but no later than that. Now, coming to the day of the exam itself, as I just mentioned, you need to wake up early as well. And by early, I don't mean like absurdly early. You don't need to wake up by 4 a.m., 5 a.m. by any means because that's detrimental as well. But you can't stay asleep till 11 a.m., 12 p.m. either because A, you'll be lethargic, you'll be tired throughout the day. But also B, and more importantly, if you wake up that late, you'll be in this rush from the moment that you wake up, this panicking rush that you need to be at the exam center by this time and you've just woken up. How will you manage everything? You do not want that on the exam day because you need to keep your mind as calm as possible, and that will do the exact opposite of that. So then you need to wake up 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. maybe, but no later than that. Somewhere between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. is the best in my opinion. And in order to get a decent amount of sleep while still waking up at 7 a.m., you need to go to bed early as well, which is why I just mentioned you need to go to sleep early. So go to sleep early and then wake up early as well, because you need to like you need to have some time to yourself so you can be calm in the morning. You don't rush through things. You can just take things slow because then that'll set the pace for the entire day. If you wake up early and you have a lot of time and you're doing things calmly, that'll set the pace, the momentum for the exam as well. And then you'll appear for the exam in a very calm manner as well. So please go to sleep early and then wake up fairly early as well. Then, after waking up, get a nice, long, warm, relaxing shower. Not a cold shower, even if you do it regularly. Have a warm shower, have a relaxing shower. Because, again, you need to keep your mind at its calmest and most optimum level. And anything that can get you a little bit calmer, a little bit more relaxed, you need to be doing that. Because you need every little advantage that you can get. So even if you can't, even if you don't usually have a warm shower, you prefer cold showers because that's refreshing as well. Um, just for that day, listen to my advice and take a warm shower because um, it's just it's not as, how do I put it? It's not as sharp in a way. It's not as striking. A cold shower will wake you up very quickly, but it's not as relaxing as a warm shower. So take a warm shower, and then after you're done with the shower, have a nice proper meal, a proper breakfast. Don't skip breakfast. That'll be the biggest mistake you can make this day. Please don't skip breakfast, because just think about it. If you don't eat anything before you leave for the exam center, you'll come back by 5 p.m. Let's say, if you take 1 hour from the center to your house, you had nothing from the moment that you woke up around 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. That is insanity. So please have some breakfast. Even if you don't have lunch before you leave, at least have some breakfast and have a proper breakfast. Like, of course, don't eat something extremely heavy either, because then you'll get that um, tiredness which comes around the afternoon. And unfortunately, the exam is in the afternoon, so you can't have that tiredness. So don't eat something extremely heavy, but don't go to the exam center on an empty stomach either, because then you won't have any energy at all to give the exam. So have some decent, proper, nice meal. Again, not too heavy, but not non-existent either. Have some breakfast at least. And while you're at it, also make sure that you have a proper amount of water as well. People tend to neglect water a lot, especially our generation. I have to constantly force myself, remind myself that I need to drink water. So I'm sure a lot of you also forget to drink water sometimes. But please, on the day of the exam, make sure that you have some proper amount of water before you go to the exam center. Again, not too much, because then you'll feel like going to the washroom during the exam. And again, you can't be doing that. Uh, you can't. You need to focus on the exam, and being distracted by having to go to the washroom is not really the most ideal situation. So don't drink too much water, but also you need to drink enough as well, because you need, again, to keep your mind at its most optimum level. So go to bed early, wake up early, have a long, relaxing, warm shower, have a hearty breakfast, and drink plenty of water as well. Also, regarding studying, I just want to mention here, please don't study anything new on the day of the exam. Please, because well, look, just think about it. If you have prepared well already for the past few months, 1 day's worth of not studying won't do you any damage. And conversely, if you haven't prepared at all for the past few months, 1 day's worth of studying won't do you any good either. So there's literally zero purpose in studying the day of the exam. The only thing that it'll do is it'll make you more worried. It'll give you more tension. Why? Because let's say you come across some topic while studying that you hadn't prepared, then you're screwed, because you'll have this chain of panicking thoughts that, oh no, I haven't studied this. What if this comes in the exam? Oh no, I've not studied this either. What if this comes? What if this comes? You don't want that. You really cannot afford to have that on the day of the exam. Or if you attempt a question and the question you attempted incorrectly, you're screwed again, because then that'll also set off a whole chain of self-doubting thoughts. And again, you cannot have that on the day of the exam. You need to be at your most confident on the day of the exam. So please, despite how worried you wake up, how stressed you wake up, how unprepared you feel, please don't study on the day of the exam. At least don't study anything new. If you feel like you need to just do something, just review an old mock test, let's say, that you've already attempted, already analyzed, just do it again. Just, if you need to do something, just for the sake of doing something, do something that you've already done, or revise a topic that you've already done. Don't study something new, or don't attempt a new mock test. Please don't attempt a mock test. That's going to be very stupid of you. Then, just before you leave your home for the exam center, I need you to make sure that you're carrying a few things. First, your admit card, ideally in color, but I think black and white should work as well. Your photo ID, an original photo ID, which I would recommend an Aadhaar card because it's just the easiest. But if you have any other valid government ID as well, like a passport or driving license, that works as well. But I would recommend an Aadhaar card, and again, original. You can't have a photocopy. Then 1 to 2 recent passport size photographs of yourself, and self attested, which means You sign across the back of those forums. um, then you need to have some pens. um, there's no such thing as too many pens for any exam, not in my opinion. I carried 5 pens to my CLAT exam because I was just that worried that what if I run out of ink in one of those pens. So I took 5 pens with me for my CLAT exam. You can take as many as you want. I don't think there is such a thing as too many pens. Because there is no downside to having a pen extra. And conversely, if you do end up needing that pen, you'll be glad that you took it. So take as many pens as you want, blue pens, or I think black works as well, but I took a blue pen, with 5 blue pens. Then a transparent water bottle. You can't have an opaque water bottle. You need to have a transparent one, which can be plastic, glass, whatever. Just shouldn't have any writing on it. Then, lastly, an analog watch. This is the most important. I wear one every single day. Uh, but you need it even more um, necessarily in the exam because who knows how your center is. If you get a good center, if you get an NLUS center, then probably your classroom will have a clock in it. But if you don't get a higher level center, maybe it won't have a clock. Then you need to have a clock on your wrist to make sure that you're doing things in a timely manner. Of course, there will be bells rung at some particular intervals throughout the exam, but I don't think that's sufficient. I please, this is the one thing I'm going to stress on. You need to have a watch with you for the exam. Not just for the exam, it'll help you in general in life as well, but just it's even more important that you have it during the day of the exam. Even if you don't have it on other days, at least exam ke liye, please get a watch. Then, after leaving home, you need to be at the exam center fairly early as well. Now, by early, I don't mean 4 hours early, 5 hours early, but your exam starts at 2 p.m. and the gates of the center open by 1 p.m. So you need to be there by latest by 12:30, in my opinion. If you can get there a little bit earlier as well, great. And I would recommend going there a little bit earlier. But if you can't, um, the the target should be 12:30 p.m. because uh, it's good to have some buffer time. Who knows, maybe you get stuck in traffic, so you need to have some buffer time as well. And so I would say, if you can get there even earlier, please go ahead because there's literally no disadvantage. Um, but 12:30 is the latest, in my opinion, that you should be reaching the center. Then you can spend those 30 minutes there, talking to your parents, or just keeping yourself calm, reminding yourself of all the successes that you've had, reminding yourself of all the good qualities that you have, all of the strengths that you have, all those things. You can do a lot of things in that time that you're waiting for the center to open. Just do not take a risk and do not leave late because again, anything can happen, especially because all the candidates will be going to the center at the same time. There will be a lot of traffic. So if you can come early and skip that traffic entirely by coming early, that's going to be very beneficial for you. You won't get stuck in that traffic. So make sure that you're reaching early, and once you do reach there, don't engage in padhai talk, like quote unquote padhai talk. um, Padhai talk as in, like, don't discuss mock scores with anybody, don't discuss what you studied with anybody, don't ask anybody कि तुमने ये टॉपिक किया है, तुमने ये टॉपिक किया है, तुम्हें लगता है ये टॉपिक आएगा, तुम्हें लगता है ये टॉपिक आएगा, भाई मैंने तो क्वांट्स नहीं की, भाई मुझे एला से डर लगता है. All those things, do not talk about all that with anybody at the exam center. Why? Because again, there is no benefit to doing that. What joy will you get by telling somebody कि भाई मैंने QT अच्छे से तैयार नहीं की है, and then they'll say कि मैंने भी तैयार नहीं की है. That doesn't help your exam at all because QT तब भी आने वाला है and तुम्हें तब भी अटेम्प्ट करना पड़ेगा, उसको भी अटेम्प्ट करना पड़ेगा. अगर उसके स्कोर तुम ज़्यादा अच्छे आ गए देन उसको कॉलेज मिलेगा, तुम्हें कॉलेज नहीं मिलेगा. So what's the purpose of discussing all those things? The only thing that I'll do is, let's say the other person says कि उसने कुछ किया है जो कि तुमने नहीं किया. Now you'll be worried कि भाई मुझे भी कर लेना चाहिए था. What if that comes in the exam and then he'll get the rank or she'll get the rank, they'll get the good college, but I won't get that good college. So you have no reason to uh, discuss all those things because there is no benefit and there are a lot of downsides to doing that. So get the exam center early, and once you're there, just stick to yourself or your parents. Don't talk to anybody except the person who's come with you because they do not have your best interests in mind. They are competing against you, remember. They are not your allies. They are competing directly against you. They do not have your best interest in mind. So talk to your parents, talk to the person who's come with you to the center, but don't talk to the other candidates there. And especially don't do padhai talk. Now, as I alluded to a little bit earlier, what you should do in that 1 hour window is remind yourself of all the good things that you've done. It might seem a bit self-centered and a little bit self-conceited, but if it works, it works. You need to remind yourself of all of the good things that you've done, all of the strengths that you have, and all the times that you thought you'll fail but you didn't fail, you succeeded, because you need as much confidence as you can get for the exam. So even if it means being a bit self-centered, even if it means being a bit obnoxious, I think you should do that, because the benefits of it far outweigh whatever cons you think it has. Um, Remind yourself of all the moments that you felt like you couldn't continue, and yet you did continue, and yet um, because you continued, you're now here, you're more confident than you would have been. Remind yourself of um, every moment in your life, not necessarily CLAT related, every moment in life where you succeeded, where you thought you'll fail, or even when you didn't think you'll fail, just general successes. Um, Remind yourself of all of your skills, your capabilities, why you are, in a way, again, a bit conceited, but tell yourself why you are a good person. Just for those 2 hours, I need you to fully believe you are a good person and you are deserving of that rank, that high rank, that good college. I need you to believe fully that you deserve those things, because it's only then that you'll attempt the paper in such a way that will get you that good college, that will get you that good rank. So, just for those 2 hours, make me a promise that you'll believe in yourself completely, fully, and you'll fully believe that you deserve that good college. Now, for the actual paper itself, what do you do in those 2 hours? Well, this is the section I can give you the least advice in, because like my mantra for advice is that despite what I say, the best advice you can get is from your own self, because I don't know who you are. I can't give you personalized advice. So stick to what you have developed over the course of your preparation. Stick to what you've tested, what you've tried, what you think works, because now is not the time to experiment. The time to experiment is long gone. Now is the time to stick to what you've already tried, what you've already tested, what you know works, because you need it to work this day. This is the one day that you need your strategy to work. So whatever strategy that you have, I'm not going into details, whatever strategy you have, whatever you've followed the most till now, whatever you've done that has given you the most results, follow that. Don't experiment too much, just follow that strategy. Don't overthink, don't doubt yourself. Give those 2 hours to yourself, uh, to your future, to your dreams, and to CLAT. In those 2 hours, I want you to think about nothing else. Stick to the paper in front of you, the question paper in front of you, the OMR sheet in front of you, and that dream in your head. of that good college, of that good rank. Don't let it, even if you have thoughts that try to come into your mind at that time, forcefully, like imagine yourself punching those thoughts out of your mind. Trust me, it sounds stupid, but it works. Imagine you have some thought in your mind which you shouldn't be having during the exam. Imagine it as some text on a piece of paper, crumple it, and then punch that thought out of your mind, out of the frame of your mind. Again, it sounds very, very stupid, very silly, but it works. It genuinely works. If you believe it works, it works. So spend those 2 hours with yourself and with the exam and with your future, and follow the strategy that has worked the best for you. And I promise you'll walk out of the exam feeling a lot more relieved than you walked in. Lastly, before I leave, I just want to say that after you're done with the exam, go home, take some rest, and do something that you like. And that can be anything. That can be hobbies. That can be just sleeping, even. Um, just something that brings you joy. So, like, I ordered some nice food from a restaurant to my home. So you can do that as well. Actually, you'll probably be too tired to go to a restaurant directly. So, I mean, I was very tired. I had a whole headache and everything. So I just ordered food to my home. You can do that. But regardless of what you do, what you should not do under any circumstances is go on YouTube and search for all those live streams of guess answer keys, expected cutoffs, all those things. Just don't. Please don't. Now is not the time to worry because एग्जाम ऑलरेडी हो चुका है. You've done what you could. अब टेंशन लेने से कुछ नहीं हो सकता. जितना टेंशन लेना था ले लिया, जितना मेहनत करना था कर लिया. अब टेंशन लेने से कुछ नहीं होगा. So at least just for that day, don't indulge in all these things. Of course, बाद में जितना देखना है देख सकते हो, but just 7 दिसंबर के लिए please don't watch all those live streams and stuff, because the only thing that'll do is give you more tension. Because अगर तुम्हारा स्कोर अच्छा गया compared to all those videos, then good, you'll have some dopamine boost. But अगर नहीं हुआ, then you'll be in tension for the entire day and beyond, of course, as well. So at least give yourself that day to enjoy the blissful ignorance that you'll have. Just don't indulge in all those things. आराम करो घर जाके. जितना टेंशन लेना था ले चुके हो. एग्जाम दे दिया है, अब कुछ नहीं कर सकते. घर जाओ, आराम करो, अच्छा खाना खाओ, दोस्तों से बात करो, मूवीज देखो, whatever. Just not that. And with that, that's all from my side. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and pressing the bell icon as well. If you have any suggestions, queries, doubts, requests, please put them in the comments below. I'll answer them either in the comments themselves, or if I think that they deserve a separate video of their own, I'll make a separate video for them as well. And with that, that's all from my side. Bye bye.